Hello, everyone. It's Melissa Faust from stampwithmelissa.com. Welcome to today's live video. If you're catching this part of the video, you're probably on the replay, so leave a comment and say hello. As you join me, whether you are watching live or on the replay, go ahead, leave a comment, say hello, let me know that you're here. It is Tuesday, June 3rd. Oh my gosh, June 3rd. Today's a good day. You know why? It's my half birthday. It is a good day, and it's been kind of a wacko day at the same time. I'll get into that in a minute. But hi, Kim. Hi, Marva. So glad you are joining me today for day 3 of our In Color Craft Along. So if you have missed any of the previous days, you're in luck. The replays are available. So make sure you just scroll back a little bit on my YouTube channel or Facebook page, and you will find those videos to watch from Sunday and Monday. Okay. Hi, Debbie. Thanks so much for joining, everyone. I'm not seeing any comments yet from Facebook, so I don't know if Facebook's having another issue. If you are watching on Facebook and you do notice anything weird, come on over to YouTube because Facebook's just acting weird lately. I don't know. I don't know what its deal is, but you know, anywho. So, okay. So today was kind of a wacko day. We're going to cross our fingers and hope for the best. There's Gayla. Hi, Gayla. That's a Facebook comment. So good. I can see them. It's been kind of a weird day because I was working today and our power went out at like 11 something, 11:15 or so this morning. Power went out for a while and then it came back on. And I was like, all right, I'm going back to work because I work from home, right? And I start working. Hi, Mom. I started working, and about 20 minutes later, the power went out again. So luckily, it's been back on for several hours now. So fingers crossed. But I wanted to just mention it in case you lose me. I'll come back when I can. But it's been on for a few hours. So I think we're okay. But anywho. All right. So we are going to go ahead and get started. I hope you're ready for day 3 of the In Color Craft Along. Today's projects were designed by my friend Julie Salva from Tennessee, and they are really fun and cute, and I think you're going to love them. So let me flip my screen down here, and I'm going to get rid of this banner so you can see the whole thing here. Hi, Holly. These are the 2 bundles we are using, Impressions of Bloom and Cheers and Sips. Hi, Joan. And they are so much fun. So we are, let's see, Sunday, we created a project with each. Yesterday, we did the same thing. And then today, we're doing the same thing again. We're going to create a project with each one. Hi, Vicki. Okay, so we are starting with Impressions of Bloom today, and then we're going to go to Cheers and Sips. I do want to remind you as well that the sweet sale started. So I put all those details in my newsletter, and I've talked about them talked about it more, I think, on Sunday, or maybe it was yesterday. I don't know. One of the craft along videos. I talked a lot about it. I want to say it was Sunday, but anywho, if you need more info on that, just let me know. But I think we're going to go ahead and get started. So I'm going to show you first here the first 2 projects we made. So these were Sunday's projects designed by Rhonda Wade. Oh, Marva, you lost power too and no idea why. Yeah, so it's been really rainy here and we have really awful air quality today from the Canadian wildfires. But I don't think that would cause a power outage. And it wasn't like thunderstorms. It was just rain. So I really don't know. Hi, Karen. Okay, so this was the first card we made on Sunday. And then we made this really, really cute treat box or treat bag here. Super cute and easy to make. And then yesterday we made these 2 cards that I designed. So this fun one with Cheers and Sips. And then we made this cute one. And I teased and said that Rhonda and I planned this so you'd have a duo. But we really didn't plan this. It just really worked out. And then today we are going to make these 2 projects. So we've got this card and this fun treat bag as well. Both of these are from Julie Salva. She designed these. So let's go ahead. I'm going to scooch these away. And as just a reminder here, unless it's your first craft along, then for your information, if it's your first video, some of you have pre-registered for a kit to craft along with me. So we are going to do everything from start to scratch. We're going to start with this card here today. We're going to do everything start to scratch, cutting all the papers, doing all the stamping, die cutting what we need to die cut, all of that sort of thing we're going to do together. If you did pre-register for that kit, you have all the supplies you need. We're going to cut it, obviously, together. You also got that PDF. If you did not pre-register for a kit and you're like, well, these projects are kind of cool and I'd really like a PDF, I have really great news for you. So I'm going to show you this. If you place, hold on, my thing's being weird here. If you place a Let me try this again. Hold please. If you place a $50 order in my online store, there we go. For any time from this past Saturday through Friday, June 6th, end of day Central Time, you are going to get this 41-page PDF for free as a thank you gift from me. Look at how awesome this is. It's got all 12 of the projects. So today is day 3. We're going all the way through Friday with demonstrations 2 a day. Super awesome PDF. I know I'm going kind of fast here, but you can just see. It's a really awesome PDF just filled with ideas. So if you would like this as a free thank you gift from me, all you have to do is place that order in my online store. So head to shop.stampwithmelissa.com, or you can click the link in the description of this video and head on over, shop that sweet sale. Okay. Shop the sweet sale, because I took advantage of it. You guys, this is so bad of me. Between Friday night, Saturday night, Sunday night, and then Monday night, the 4 nights, I've gotten about 20 hours of sleep over those 4 nights. And last night, it was like 11, and I'm Central Time. So the new stuff, the sweet sale and the new online exclusives for demos to pre-order, that all launched at 1. And I was like, why don't I just stay up? Yeah. So anywho, I'm a little bit tired, but you know what? My niece was supposed to have soccer today, and it ended up getting canceled because of the air quality. So that's good news, at least. Maybe I can go to bed early. Okay, so let's take a look at what we're going to need for our first project, which is the card. We're going to need some basic white cardstock, some pretty in pink cardstock, and some strawberry slush cardstock. Now I am using, this is not a full sheet, I'm using some scrap left over from previous days. And then we're going to use this super beautiful pattern of DSP from Floral Impressions. And we're going to use both sides. So we've got this fun, like, strawberry slush. This is like a flirty flamingo with strawberry slush. It's really pretty. But we're going to use both sides of this, okay? All right, so let's start with our cutting. So I'm going to start, I need to make sure I'm cutting the right side. I'm going to pull out the big arm so I can measure this and make sure I don't accidentally cut the wrong one. Yeah, hold on. This is the 8.5 side, because I didn't pull a full sheet. Okay, so anywho, I just had to check. We're going to cut our card base 8.5 by 5.5. And then I'm going to score this at 4 1/4. And just to double check, I'm going to flip it all the way around. Yeah, okay, I did cut it the right way. Oh my gosh, Marva, that is so exciting. And you know what? That pre-order was the perfect birthday gift. So you and I think alike on that. My birthday is at the beginning of December. And so sometimes if my birthday falls on a Tuesday, it is pre-order day. And so, I mean, all bets are out the window. So anyway, all right, then we're going to take our pretty in pink cardstock. We are going to cut 3 1/4 by 4 1/4. And then I'm going to save this extra scrap to do some die cutting. And you know what? I'm going to set it like up above so I don't get it mixed up for this layer here. Okay. All right. And then, oh, actually, Julie measured this for us. She said 2.5 by 4. I'm just going to leave it full size, but if you want to cut that down, you can. Okay. All right. Then we've got some basic white cardstock, and I am going to cut at 3 1/2 by 5. And then 3/4. And I'm going to use the right side of my trimmer for that. That's for our sentiment. Okay. These pieces here are scraps for later. For some other card, some other time. Okay. All right. Then for our DSP, we are going to cut the floral side at 3 by 4. So I'm actually going to cut the 3-inch side first. No, I'm not. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to turn it this way. So I've got the flowers going like, you know, side to side, and I'm going to cut that at 4. And the reason I'm doing that is because the next piece we have to cut, this will just be easier so I don't have to cut so much. And then we'll cut at 3, okay? Because our card is going to be portrait, so we want this piece to be portrait as well. And then if we flip this over, we've got this fun, like, fancy fan type of thing, and we want to cut, I'm going to cut a 3/4 inch strip, and then cut this down at 4 1/4. So if I had initially cut at 3, I would have to cut into the big piece again, and so that's just what I was avoiding there. So anywho. Okay, but you can really do that however you'd like. Alrighty, we've got all those pieces done there. Now we can go ahead and we're going to die cut first. I know that's a little bit odd. Usually I like to start with stamping, but we're going to die cut first. And all we need to die cut is this leaf right here. from the Impressions Abloom stamp set. By the way, I wanted to show you this. So yesterday, you know, we die cut out those ovals. If you ever die cut out the ovals and you have extra pieces, I just throw them in my case. Then I have some Petunia Pops and basic white stitched ovals ready to go. Whenever I want to use those, I can just pull those out and use them. So just a little tip for you. Okay, so for both of these projects today, Julie was super nice to us. We only have this one die for like the whole video. And then we have, yeah, we have no fussy cutting, nothing, like no coloring. She was like, you know what? Just wait till Friday when we have fussy cutting to do. And so I don't know. It's pretty nice. So we're starting with die cutting. Okay, and let's see, that piece didn't want to be nice. I'm going to use my take your pick tool. There's little holes in the die, so you can just use that to pop these out. I know, happy birthday, Marva. I am not going to sing. But you know what? Marva, are you going to be here on Friday night's video? Because maybe I will give you a little birthday song. It's only Tuesday, so we still have time, and I'll be live again this week. So you tell me. And if you're going to be here, I can do a little something. Okay, so we have got our pieces here of basic white. This is what we're going to stamp on. So let's start with this strip first, and we're going to grab our Strawberry Slush ink and the sentiment that says, I appreciate you. And we'll ink that up and then stamp this down. I'm going a little bit more to the left-hand edge because we're going to do an angle cut on the right. And I don't want to cut straight on the left if I don't have to. Okay, then we're going to take this larger piece of basic white. This is actually for the inside of our card. And you guys, I have to show you this. I did more stamping. Look at that. Oh, okay, your family's here from California. All right, Marva, you get it right now. Are you ready? This is your birthday song. It isn't very long. Hey, happy birthday! That's what we do in our family, the little birthday song. So that's for you. You can replay it then on your actual birthday. Okay, so we are going to stamp the inside of our card here. We've got this. This is the detailed of the larger flower. We're going to ink this up in Strawberry Slush. And I'm just going to stamp that in the corner. But we are just decorating the inside of the card here. So you can kind of do whatever you want to do with this. I'm going to follow what Julie did because Julie's smart. So then I've got Pretty in Pink ink. And we've got that filler stamp. I'm just going to pivot this a little bit and get my head over this to stamp this down. Okay, like so. And it will dry a little bit lighter. Pretty in Pink came on real dark. It's not a dark color, but you know, sometimes it just does what it wants to do. All right, then we've got Darling Duckling ink pad here and our centers of our flowers. Now these are the larger centers. So we're going to stamp the detailed one first, and then we've got our filler. We're going to stamp off and then stamp the center. So cute. I love these flowers. They're so easy to stamp and work with, and they're very, very pretty. Oh, thank you, Marva. You said I'm a great singer. That's a big compliment because I'm not a great singer. But you know what? I don't know. Anyway, okay, let's stamp some leaves. I'm getting too big in the head now. Oh, your scratch paper looks pretty bad. Joan, that's a good thing. All right. Unless you mean it's like not stamped on, then that would be bad, right? It's okay. You got some work to do. All right. We have stamped the inside. And I used Old Olive for that leaf. I don't know that I mentioned that. Let's go ahead and we're going to adhere together our card. So we're going to start with this strip of DSP here because that's going to lay under our other layers. So we can just add some seal. And then this is going to go across the whole card front. So I've got my score line here. I am going to line that up on the left-hand edge on the score line and then have it go all the way across the card front. And I'm leaving about, what is that? About 1.5 inches-ish, 1 3/8 inches at the bottom. I'm really just eyeballing that. And then we can fold and burnish. I feel like this card looks naked so far. I just am so used to burnishing when there's more on it, and I'm like, there's nothing on it yet. All right, let's take this piece of DSP and we are going to layer this on to our Pretty in Pink layer. And this is a 1/4 inch difference. So we've got a little bit of a bigger margin there. Okay, and then we're going to add some seal to that pretty in pink. Put that on the center of our card here, like so. And then what you can do, if you like liquid glue, you can add liquid glue to the back of your leaves. That's not for me. So I'm going to add a little bit of seal on my DSP where I know I'm going to cover with my sentiment, and I'm going to stick this cute leaf right on top of it. Now, I might sneak like a glue dot underneath a petal, maybe that top petal there. But I'm just, if I don't have to use liquid glue, I'm not gonna. I don't think we have to use it at all today. Well, maybe on the 3D item. I don't know. We'll see. Okay, so we've got our sentiment here. I appreciate you, and we're going to angle cut that right hand edge right off. Okay, and then we can flip this over and add some dimensionals. And 1, 2, 3, peel off those backings. And then we're going to stick this down. Now make sure, if you did do the seal trick like I did, make sure you're going to cover that, anything that's exposed. And I'm going to peek it off the edge of that pretty in pink, just a smidge, like so. So cute. I love that. All right, let's add the inside of our card here. Okay, so we're going to put this inside. And it's a little bit, okay, here's a trick. It's a little bit skinnier here. You might be thinking, why is that 3.5 by 5? Usually it would be 3 3/4 by 5. The reason Julie does this, and I heard her mention this once, and I don't remember where she got it from, but she actually does 3.5 by 5 because then you can get 5 insides from a sheet of paper instead of 4. Really kind of a neat thing. And it actually doesn't look too bad on the inside, huh? It's a little bit skinnier on the sides than the top and bottom, but I think it looks pretty good. So there's that one. And then we're going to finish off our card with some of our pretty in pink and strawberry slush gems here. And I'm going to use the strawberry slush ones. So we're going to grab one big and set that there. And then I'm going to grab a little and bring that one up over here. And that is our card for today. How do you think? What do you think of this one? I think it's so cute. Very easy to switch up that DSP and then switch up the colors of your cardstock too, which is a lot of fun. So there is our card. Then we can go on to our cute little treat bag here. This one's really fun. I'm not going to open it because this one does open by untying the ribbon. So I'm like, I don't know about you, but I'm only untying that ribbon to put something in the box, and then that's it. I'm not going to do it multiple times. You know what I'm saying. Anyway, but we're going to build it together today. So you're going to get to see how this all comes together too. So, but this is a really, really cute little box and easy to come together. So I'm going to set that there, and let me grab my measurements here. And I'm going to scooch my stamps out of the way a little bit because I know that I'm going to put paper in them. And let's grab what we need for this card. So for this card, we are going to use this fun piece of DSP. This is actually from the Cheers and Sips, but it's got this really beautiful floral pattern on this side. Yeah, it is a fast and easy card, Joan. I agree. All right, on this side, can you see those really pretty little stripes in there from the old olive? So this is from the Celebratory Sips DSP. We're going to cut 2 pieces of this for the front and the back of our box. Okay. Hi, Anne. And then we're going to use this fun piece. I call it the vegetable piece, even though, you know what, it's fruits. So I got to rename that in my head, the fruit DSP. This is also from Celebratory Sips. It's got that fun secret C pattern on it that we used yesterday. So we are going to use that as well. And then we have some pumpkin pie cardstock. And if you got that craft along kit, you'll have these already die cut for you in your kit. But we've got an old olive circle and a basic white banner. Both of these were die cut from the Stylish Shapes dies. So let me close up this, get a little room in here, and we'll cut our pieces. So we're going to start with pumpkin pie, our cardstock here, and we are going to have to pull out the arm. More room. You guys, all of our desks, don't you just wish they were like bigger? All right, we've got our pumpkin pie piece here. We're going to cut it 8.5 by 8. So I already have that 8.5 done, right? Because that's just what the card cardstocks cut to. So we're going to cut that other side at 8. We'll score this in a little bit, okay? And then we want our cheers and sips DSP. So we're going to take that old olive piece. Nope. Yep, old olive piece, and we're going to cut at 2 5/8. Hold on. See what I mean? More room. All right, cut at 2 5/8 by 3 3/8. And we need 2 of these. Okay, so we've got those 2 pieces there. And then we're going to take our fruit piece, or, you know, vegetable piece. No. And we're going to cut this one at 2 5/8 by 2 5/8. So it's going to be square. All right, just like that. And then, of course, we need our circle and our banner. So let's close this. And we're actually going to start with our box, and then we'll do all of the stamping and assembling. And we are going to grab our piece of pumpkin pie. And let me get these measurements here on my PDF that's to the side. And I've got my scoreboard. So let's start. We're going to start on that 8.5-inch side. So there we go. And I'm just going to scooch that like so. And we're going to score this at 1/2 inch. I have to make sure I'm reading the right measurements. Yep, 1/2 inch. 3 1/4. 4 1/2. 7 1/4. Okay, so there's that. And then we're going to score the 8-inch side at, did I have that right? Hold on. Yeah. Okay. I was looking at the wrong thing. When I'm scoring things, I don't want to score them wrong. So I was like, hold on, did I do something wrong? No, I'm good. Okay, 8-inch side then, the shorter side at 1 1/4. 4 3/4. And 5 1/4. Okay, so that's our scoring. Move that out of the way. I lost one of my markers for my scoreboard, so I need to order more. Yikers, huh? That's not fun. I should get different colored ones, because then I know, like, you know, I could do different, like, here's the long side measurements and the short side, and, you know, anyway. All right, we're going to burnish all of these score lines. That just helps me when I need to cut my box. I like to have those score lines already burnished. Helps me to see them a little bit better. Okay. And this one. And one more here. A little 1/2 inch. Okay, so we've got those all burnished. Let me pull my PDF here so I have my cutting guide. Julie has this really nice cutting guide for us. So I have it open so I can make sure I cut the right things, because we all know that's really bad if you don't, right? Okay, so we've got this 1/2 inch tab, or the 1/2 inch side is over on my left. We're going to cut up the score line. Okay, hold on. This little 1/2 inch is here, right? So we've got, can you see that? There we go. You can see how I have this laid out on my desktop. So we're going to cut up this score line and then miter cut in. Okay. And then up at the top, we're going to leave this larger section. This is going to be our front flap for our box. So we're going to cut this little 1/2 inch tabby all the way down to the second score line, and then cut that off. Okay. Like so. And you know what? You can even miter cut this one. So you have that little 1/2 inch tabby is what's left there. Okay. All right. Then on the bottom of the box, I'm going to cut up the next score line and then cut in on our smaller squares. Those are going to be like the little flaps that go in the bottom of the box here. So when I say miter cut, that is just cutting at a slight angle, and that makes it so if your paper it's not like 90 degrees and butting up against each other and then bowing the paper when you put it together. So that's why I do that. Okay, and then same thing here. We'll cut up and in. and cut along here. Now, we also need to remove a large portion of the top, but it's a lot. And you guys know I'm not a big fan of fussy cutting, so I'm actually going to use my trimmer. But what we're doing is this flap right here is our top of our box and where we're putting that fruit DSP, okay? So I want to remove all of this. So right here is a score line. That's what we're keeping. Everything else over here is going away, right? So I'm going to pull in my trimmer, and I don't even measure this. I just eyeball it. And what I'm going to do is line up this first score. This is our flap, right? Our front flap. Line that up in the gutter. And then I'm going to take my scoring blade and I'm going right into the middle of my cardstock. And there's a little slit right there on the trimmer blade. Okay, and that tells you where the blade actually goes. And I'm lining it up with this score line here, sticking that in, and then I'm going to cut up. Oh, that was not happy. Look at that. That was gross. My blade is kind of dull though. But you know what? It's fine. It worked out okay. All right, anywho. And then we're going to line up this score line. So this is our second score line in the gutter. Same thing, lining up there. Oh, that one worked way easier. That first one was like clunk, clunk, clunk. And there is this one. Oh, I love it. 8th and 16th. See, we're getting cross-eyed. Oh, that's funny, Marva. I love it, though. I love that you get to help him make a Father's Day card. Okay, so there's our box pieces that we need then, right? So we've got this guy will fold over, and the rest of this here will make our box. Hi, Lori. We're glad you're here. Okay, so we're going to first adhere our little 1/2-inch strip to make our box. So I'm going to use tear and tape. And we probably are going to use liquid glue. I know I said earlier that we probably wouldn't, but I didn't lie. I just forgot. Anyway, it is actually easier to use liquid glue on the bottom flaps to adhere it. Okay, so I'm folding in on the score line here, and then we'll fold back. So everything's flat, but we're just scoring or folding this to adhere it together. And then we've got this piece. So this is our front, right? Because our flap's going to fold forward. So we're going to tuck in these little tabbies. Let me grab my liquid glue. Tuck in the little guys here. Okay, fold in the back. And then we'll add liquid glue. And fold back the front. Like so, okay? And then I just take my bone folder, that rounded edge, and just put that in there to help push down the flaps and get them to seal for us. Okay? All right, we can close this guy up. All right, so then let's grab in our other pieces here. We're going to start with these old olive DSP pieces, and add some adhesive. And then we're going to add these onto the main part of our box on the front right here and on the back right there. Okay, and then this guy is the part that's visible on the front. So we're going to add this fruit piece of DSP onto that flap there. Like so. You can also do this when your box is flat and not adhered yet, but sometimes I don't trust myself to do that and get it on the right way. For all I know, I would have adhered it to the inside of the box. Anywho. All right, so we've got our box here. Now you might be thinking, okay, that's not going to fit, Melissa. Yeah, we're going to make it gusseted on the side. So we are going to push in the sides here. Okay, like so. And then allow our box to naturally shut like this. And then that gusseted edge is going to open a little bit and meet with this 1/2-inch mark on the top. That's kind of fun, isn't it? All right, then we're going to take our ribbon. And this is where we get real fancy because we're trying to close our box, keep our box closed, and also tie the ribbon around it. So that looks like, whoops, more than enough. But okay, come here, buddy. There we go. And even though we're not a lefty, we're going to try. I did it. You know, sometimes you just have to, I don't know, try things with your other hand. I don't know. That was going to be really philosophical, and then it wasn't. Okay, so we are going to tie this into a bow. And like I mentioned before, if you're like, I do not like tying bows, you know, that's not for me, you might want to fill this first so that you don't have to untie and then retie this bow. Okay. We're going to tie the bow, and that's what's going to keep our box closed. All righty. Let's see here. Looks pretty good. I think that was pretty decent. And trim off this tail. Okay, and then you can kind of scoot your bow up or down wherever you want. I twist it around a little to get it to go a little bit more straight there, okay? All right, let's take our die cut pieces then. We've got this little banner, and we are going to stamp the sentiment that says, "It's your day." How fun is that? With Tuxedo Black Memento ink. Okay, and this is just, if you have not seen my trick before that I learned from my team member, Alicia Markfort, we put Tuxedo Black Memento refill into one of the empty white ink pads, craft ink pads, and it works so nicely. So we're big fans. So anyway, we stamped that cute little sentiment, and then we're going to use some dimensionals. And first, what I'm going to do is on either side of my ribbon, I'm just going to attach a dimensional. Okay, now if you wanted to, you could actually add your dimensionals onto the ribbon, and it would make sure that your ribbon didn't move, or when your recipient like unties it, it would stay attached, you know, with the perfect length, and then you would flip that around. You know what I'm saying? Okay, so I added that circle on. Then we're going to take our sentiment and add some dimensionals on the back, and they do fit. The minis might, you might want to use the minis, but the full size actually do fit on that banner. And then we're going to center this onto our circle here. How cute. And that's our finished treat box. How fun is that one? I just love that. I think that's so cute. So that is it. Easy peasy. Look at that. There are both of our projects for today, the lovely card and treat box. And here are the other projects we have made so far this week. I'm going to do them by bundle. Look at that. How fun is that? Ooh. So there are our finished projects. Thank you so much for joining me for day 3 of our In Color Craft Along. I hope you guys have been having so much fun so far. We're officially halfway through. Can't believe that either. And yeah, but they've been a lot of fun. I'm really excited to remake several of these with different sets, right? I think these, like this box, would be really, really fun to use as like a stocking stuffer. Because it's pretty sturdy. This one is really, really stinking cute as well. But I think my stockings are a little too skinny for it. But this one, I think it would fit perfectly. Or you could even maybe put like, make it a little bit taller and do a hot chocolate packet in it. I don't know why I have Christmas on the brain so much, but here we are. Anywho, so those are the projects we've already made. As a reminder, if you would like that PDF sent to you for free, if you place a $50 order in my online store through the end of the day, this Friday, June 6th, I will get that sent to you as a thank you gift for me for placing that order and supporting me. I really do appreciate when you shop with me as your demo. I'm lucky. I am just so fortunate. So anywho, I wanted to sneak peek to you tomorrow. We will be making Deborah Harrison's projects. And so we've got this really cute card and this super cute little treat box as well. And she actually fit, and I don't have one here, but she fit a drink mix inside. There was like a, you know, when you get those little, what are those? The little like packets for Kool-Aid or whatever. There was actually like a drink mix that Deborah found that she designed this for. So that was really cool. So we are going to make these tomorrow, both using the Cheers and Sips bundle. And yeah, I'm excited to share with you how to make those. So thanks so much for watching day 3. Come on back tomorrow, Wednesday, June 4th, 5 p.m. Central Time for day 4. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you later. Bye for now.